Two gun shops in Twin Falls, Idaho claim that the local police have started their own gun registration program and have been trying to force FFLs to join the program, even threatening to charge them with a crime for not complying. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. The behavior in today's story is the kind of thing that we normally expect from the likes of the ATF and not local police forces, but here we are. The two FFLs that have come forward about this program and law enforcement antics are Quick Response Firearms, owned by Tara and Daniel Corsini, and Homestead Tactical, owned by Joshua Van Dyke. Both sat down with local news to talk about something the police are calling leads online. The cops approached the shops and told them they had to join the program, which they said helps them catch criminals faster. Except the program is a gun registry that requires personal information about the customer buying the gun and all the information about the firearm being sold, including serial numbers. It allegedly all started over a couple of secondhand purchases that went through the shop. And I'll explain a little bit more about those later. Now, federal law already requires the shops to maintain a list of every gun that is sold to or by the shop, as well as the personal information of the buyer and seller. The whole hullabaloo around the ATF taking or photographing 4473s is because they're not supposed to have access to this information unless a crime has taken place or they're doing some kind of audit. Registries are illegal and for good reason. ATF seizes the data and puts it in a database. Well, that means that now they have a registry. Yes, I know they technically already have one by taking records of closed shops and all of these photos that they've been illegally taking. That is besides the point. Despite what the ATF is doing, it is supposed to be illegal. Now, both shops have an acquisition and disposition log as required by the ATF. Both shops say that their logs are maintained offline, personal information is protected, and it's only disclosed in the event of an active investigation, which is the way that it should be when FFLs are indeed forced to keep this information handy. So, if there's ever a crime traced back to a shop in Twin Falls, Idaho, law enforcement would already have access to that information. There is no reason for the cops to have all of that information of every gun bought and sold in town at the ready except to track gun owners. And in fact, they've already had investigations into FFLs and been successful without having that information in their own database. But before I get into the rest of these shady details here, this video is brought to you today by Blackout Coffee Company. Blackout is a Florida-based coffee roaster, not to be confused with Black Rifle. I know sometimes it gets you guys in the comments. Blackout has been a huge supporter of this channel for quite some time, helping to keep this channel running and keep me running with a healthy, some of you would probably say unhealthy, dose of caffeine. They do not have a single flavor or brew that I don't like. I'm actually really enjoying the Climax flavor right now, and by now I have tried just about all of them. Ever since I did that eggplant video, I giggle every time I say Climax now on the channel. They are also huge supporters of the Second Amendment and even have special partner roasts that donate to some of your favorite gun rights groups directly. So to help support the channel and your rights, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll. So I said earlier on that this all started over a pair of secondhand sales. Well, the Corsinis said that two guns that they purchased from a customer in early 2023 were later reported stolen. The police came and investigated. They got all the info of the guy who sold the guns, and the items were returned to the rightful owner. It was an active investigation, and so the Corsinis cooperated without the cops needing their registry. Bada bing, bada boom, case closed. Out of the 8,000 guns that they have bought since 2019, those were the only two ever reported stolen. Van Dyke says that at his shop, he's never had any in all of his years of business. But according to both FFLs, about a year after that 2023 incident, the police began harassing local FFLs about joining this registry program, saying, well, the rest of the country is doing it, which is not true. The cops told them that they had to join the program or the department would slap them with misdemeanor charges, which is absolutely insane. Like, I'm not really even sure what misdemeanor charges they would give them for that. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. Idaho Dispatch researched Leads Online and found that it's owned and held by a private equity firm that provides data and intelligence tools to law enforcement. It is designed to find patterns in cases to help solve crimes, supposedly provides ballistic identification, which, as far as I know, isn't even a real science. And according to the folks at the company itself, they do not require customers' personal information in order to use the tools. Idaho Dispatch contacted Leads Online to determine if the program required customers' personal information. Leads Online told Idaho Dispatch that personal information is not required and that each law enforcement agency can customize the program for its needs. Additionally, Idaho Dispatch asked Leads Online who can access the information collected by the Twin Falls Police. Leads Online told Idaho Dispatch that each agency controls who can access the data they are gathering. Finally, Idaho Dispatch asked Leads Online what would happen if the FBI, ATF, or any other federal agency asked for data from a law enforcement agency. What would Leads Online require to turn over that data? However, no answer to this question was provided. Idaho Dispatch also contacted the media contact for the Twin Falls PD and basically got ghosted. Idaho Dispatch contacted Lieutenant Craig Stotts, listed as a media contact with the TFPD, to ask why personal information regarding these secondhand firearms purchases by gun shops was required if the gun shops already maintain that information in their acquisition and disposition log, and if Leads Online does not require it to be gathered. Additionally, Idaho Dispatch asked Stotts for a response to the gun shop's claims of harassment by TFPD, claims these shops faced misdemeanor charges, and whether they believed Leads Online was serving a de facto gun registration program. Idaho Dispatch emailed and called Stotts, but we have not received a response to any of our questions. One of the FFLs also filed a public information request as he was worried about the data being collected. So he asked about usage data and investigations versus the actual number of convictions from Leads Online. The response simply read, "We do not track usage data or investigations versus actual number of convictions as a result of data mining with Leads Online." So they don't need the info to run the program and don't track the number of convictions made through the program, but are going to threaten FFLs with crimes for not handing over this data that they'd reasonably have access to if they needed it. Sounds pretty sus. Idaho Dispatch reached out to all of the local congressmen. Only one bothered to respond and said that she has contacted the state attorney general about the situation as it's a violation of gun owners' Fourth Amendment and Second Amendment rights. Idaho Dispatch also reached out to the mayor and city council of Twin Falls. However, they refused to comment. Which right there probably tells you about all that we need to know. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this video. You guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below. Every interaction, even if you hate this, and leave a comment that you hate it, you know what, friends? That helps the algorithm too. So thank you. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.